I guess this makes his enemies. Gotta turn my hat backwards on this one. Let's dig into his comments.
To the vice president's house.
Also, if you're an enemy of drag, you're an enemy of mine.
All right, so this one is bittersweet. George Lopez is claiming I am his enemy. Now, this comment, this clip, I got from George Lopez on The View, and I got that clip from Brandon Tatum. I'm going to drop his video URL in the description below. But him claiming that I am his enemy is kind of bittersweet. It's sweet because I'm okay with that line he has drawn. He has drawn a line, and he said, if you're on this side of the line, you're my enemy. And I'm okay with being on that line because that line is on the line of God. That line is on the line of the Bible. That line is on the line of protecting children. I'm okay with that. And we're going to discuss that in more detail. But the bitter part is I like this guy. I know he just called me his enemy, but I like him. I respect him. He's made something of himself. His name is respectful out there. He's made it into the TV business. He's a funny guy. I remember watching him when I was growing up, and I used to watch his show a lot. I still do at times. And it's something I can watch rerun after rerun. Which is saying something because I don't like watching reruns, but there's some shows like King of Queens and Seinfeld, things like that, I like watching over and over. George Lopez is one of them. Now his new show, I don't really like that too much, not because of the comment he made, but actually I was trying to watch his new show because I was looking forward to it. Say, George Lopez made a show again, let's watch it. And it's kind of corny, but we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about his comment and what it means and why we should be okay with it, but why we should defend our position, or why we stand on that side of the line that he's drawn. So he's claiming that we're his enemy if we're an enemy of drag. He's talking about the drag queens. Now let's talk about why we should be on the opposite line of George Lopez. Like I said, which is unfortunate because I respect the man. I know you call me enemy. Still like you, George. You probably won't watch this video, but I love you, man. But I am your enemy based off what you just said, which is very unfortunate. But this is why I'm okay with it. So first of all, being a drag queen. What is a drag queen? A drag queen is a man dressing up like a woman. That has its own lesson right there. We could talk about that, but I want to talk about something even more serious, even more deeper. So not only is it a man dressing up like a woman, but it's a man dressing up like a woman in a perverse sexual way. So where do my feminist friends stay on this line? What do you say about this matter? Are y'all okay with the drag queens doing this? Now, not only are they men dressing as women in a perverted sexual manner, but they're not just doing it in their own environment, in their own space. Because this is America. You have the freedom to dress like that if you want to. I'll have the freedom to make this video to say that I disagree with you. But you have the freedom to do that. What you don't have the freedom to do is to infringe that sexual behavior on the children. So if you were wanting to be a man and dress like a woman in whatever way you want to dress up like in your own space, whatever you want to do in that environment, that's up to you. I disagree with it. I don't think it's healthy, but you can do that. But when you put that on the children, and when I mean put that on the children, when the drag queens are going to the libraries and they're reading books to the children, just that environment of saying, hey, this is okay, teaching the kids at a young age that this is okay, this is acceptable, that we should appreciate something like this. We should appreciate men dressing like women in a perverted sexual manner. Because there's a big key word there, the sexual perverted manner. Why are we allowing this to be around the kids? It's like, well, one argument is, well, the kids don't have to go. Well, if they're in the library and it's set up for that, and it's set up for the kids are there. So yeah, I blame the parents for that, of course. But then they also go to these events, and they call it all age friendly. But at these events, you have these men, again, dressed up like women in sexual perverted manner, and you have these little kids going up there and putting money in their underwear. It's not okay. It's not okay at all. And that is something that I'm okay with being on this line about. So that's my argument I want to lay out is my line where I'm at is if you want to dress like that, even though I disagree with it and I have the freedom to tell you how I disagree with it, you have the freedom to disagree with me. You have the freedom to do that. My argument is that it is wrong, but you still can do that. But you are not or should not be allowed to put that on children. And if that makes me an enemy of them, like George Lopez puts it, an enemy of the drag, and if that makes me an enemy of him, I'm okay with that because at the end of the day, I want to please God. I want to protect those other children. If it hurts someone's feelings, like the drag queens, I'm sorry. And also not sorry. Sorry, not sorry. But we have to protect the children. So I'm okay with being on that line. So let me know what you think. Are you okay with George Lopez calling us his enemy? Or at least calling me his enemy? Because I admit it. I am not okay with what the drag queens do. I'm not okay with that. And if you want to call me the enemy because I am against that and I want to protect the children, like I said, so be it. But what do you think about this? What do you think about his comments? Are you okay with those comments? And where is your line? Do you draw the line as well? If I am against drag queens trying to put that on children, am I also your enemy? Let me know what you think in the comments. Again, it was very unfortunate that I am now classified as an enemy of George Lopez. And again, I love you, George Lopez. You are one of the guys that I really, really liked growing up. I walked around. I don't know what wapa means, but I remember growing up and I love saying that. Every once in a while I still catch myself saying it because that's what you used to say on George Lopez. Oh, wapa. I don't know what it means. I'm sorry if I've said anything bad. I tried to look up what wapa means before I made this video and I couldn't find it. But again, bittersweet. Love you, George. I hope that if for some reason you do see this video, which I'm a nobody, so I don't think you will, but just want you to know, love you. Sucks that your classmate is your enemy, but I'm okay with it. All right. And last thing, Jesus is king.